to the right. There you go. So the Duke of Wellington is he's got a statue there. If you don't know who the Duke of Wellington is, he's the one that defeated Napoleon Bonaparte in the Battle of Waterloo in 1815. So that's the last time we saw Bonaparte, ladies and gents, in 1815. Over to the right, that's Hyde Park itself, one of the central London royal parks. To the west of Hyde Park, the way we're headed now, you find Kensington Park, and in Kensington Park you find Kensington Palace. The late Princess Diana, she used to reside there before her passing back in August 31st, 1997. Can you believe, ladies and gents, come August 31st, 29 years since her passing. Yeah, she's still influencing people to this day. Until recently, there were two other couples that used to reside there. One of them is our future king, King William, Prince William, he's not king yet, and his wife, Kate Middleton. And there was another couple, they claimed the media was invading their private lives. So what did they decide to do? Well, they left this country, went to sunny California. Yeah. Of course it was Prince Harry and Meghan Markle. I mean, you know, like I said, the media was invading their private lives. So what did they decide to do? Well, they just decided to show up in every chat show possible in there. So yeah, and exposing their royal life. We still love them dearly, don't get us wrong, we still love them dearly, but we don't pay as much as Netflix, so yeah, it's not all bad. They can come back anytime, ladies and gents. The palace is still there for them. As we move along, there's a bit of traffic here. This area is Knightsbridge. So if you get one of those American Express cards, Platinum or Diamond, I don't know which one's got the most credit in there, this is the area you need to be. It started with Harvey Nichols on the left. That was later, you know, favorite department store before she married Prince Charles at the time. And after she started dating Dodi Al-Fayed, whose father was the owner of Harrods, coming up very shortly. Over to the right, this is one of the top 5 hotels in London, and it's called the Mandarin Hotel. The Mandarin Hotel, it's one of those penthouses. It will cost you up to £27,000 a night. Yeah, and you don't even get breakfast included with it, but you get the shopping stores around here as well. If you look to your left, eventually, after we start moving, there's a street sign that calls Sloane Street. Sloane Street, this is where you find all the flagship stores, starting with Burberry over to the left, ladies and gents. Now, you need to find out yourself what other flagship stores are there, because I can't afford to shop there, so I don't know what's in there. So over to the left, that's Sloane Street. And that leads us to Brompton Road. Brompton Road is named, you can see very shortly, you'll see Harrods Department Store, ladies and gents. Just there, ahead of us, that's Harrods Department Store. Now Harrods is known for the green bags and gold logo. My couple behind me, please, thank you. So Harrods got those green bags with the gold logo letters that says Harrods across it. Now, one way to get one of those bags is to go inside. You can go and buy a cup of coffee and a pastry, and they'll give you one of those bags. Or my idea is just buy a newspaper, the cheapest thing you can get in there. Get the bag, and from there, go over to Primark in Marble Arch, buy a gift, put it in the bag, and you can give that gift to anybody you love or who you don't love. No one will question the integrity of the gift because of the bag. Well, that is until your wife wants to fact check the price of the gift. Well, good luck with that. Now, Harrods' motto is all things to all people at any time. But that's in Latin. I think it translates to something like that. What that meant was, for a period until mid-1950s or 60s, if you had a headache, in order to get rid of your headache, they give you that white powder, I can't say the name.
Cocaine.
Yeah, but you're not allowed to do that anymore, or at least not over the counter, maybe under the counter, I don't know. The first escalators they were installed in Harrods. Now the Victorians, they were very afraid of this moving staircase. So what they did, they hired one-legged person in order to show them how to use the moving. Yes, I know. Yeah, I'm excited as well. Yeah, moving staircase. So the guy showed to them how to use it, but they were still not convinced by it. So what did they do is, they had someone with tray or brandy on top of the escalator. So once you complete that flight of stairs, they give you a shot of brandy to calm your nerves down. I've tried, they don't do that anymore. Now, when I said they can buy anything, there was a young entrepreneur. He ordered a baby elephant here for the future American President Ronald Reagan. Obviously, they did not store the elephants in here, but they had an exotic department, so you could order them and had it delivered for you. They don't do that anymore either, so thank God for that. So that's Harrods, ladies and gents. It's open, if I'm not mistaken, until 9 o'clock, so after you complete the tour, you might have a chance to go and buy something if you wish to do so. It's only about 20 minutes walk where we finish the tour. Very shortly, ladies and gents, there will be the next set of traffic lights, not this one, but the next intersection there's a building with a bricked up windows. Now, during the American War of Independence, the government of this country, they were losing the war and they need to raise funds, which eventually they did lose, which made no difference whatsoever. So, in order for them to raise the funds, what did they do? They came up with the idea of taxing people by how many windows they had. Now, the best example I can show you of those bricked up windows is coming up at this traffic light. If you look to the left, is a bricked up windows with a brown building, just over to the left. You see that? So that tax was intact until mid-19th century, when the member of parliament stood up in the House of Commons and he said, "Do you realize this is daylight robbery?" Hence the expression, the tax was finally repealed. So why do we still have the bricked up windows? Very simple. It's a listed building, meaning you represent historic importance, so you're not allowed to make any changes. So when you purchase the building, when you buy the property, the conditions of the sale is to keep it the way it is. If you're a Roman Catholic, look over to the right, that's Brompton Oratory. Brompton Oratory, the second most important Catholic church in London, after Westminster Cathedral on Victoria Street. Not the Abbey, the Cathedral. Our former Prime Minister, Boris Johnson, have you heard that name before? Yeah, he got married there a few years ago. Don't ask me which wife number was it, because I've lost count. But on the wedding list, it did not include a hairbrush or a mirror. Over to the right, ladies and gents, over to the right, look at this Victoria and Albert Museum. If you're from America, especially from New York, look all the way to the top there. It's a mini Statue of Liberty on top of it. So that's Victoria and Albert, short for V&A, fashion design and textile. We call this area the museum quarters because you got three wonderful museums in here. Starting with Victoria and Albert on the right, and the dark grey windows to the right there, that's the Science, or at least part of the Science Museum. And it's coming up over to the right, my favorite building in London. One of my favorite buildings in London, that is the Natural History Museum. You can see how busy it is, ladies and gents. The reason for that is because we got the, obviously you have the Easter holidays, so our schools are off as well. Now this museums, they were inspiration of Prince Albert. They were inspiration of Prince Albert. He was the husband of Queen Victoria, and he believed very passionately that knowledge should be free. And that's why to this day you don't have to pay a penny to visit these museums. You can donate towards maintaining the museums. You can, you know, if there's a special exhibition, then you have to purchase a ticket. So that's the way how they, you know, obviously through taxpayers as well, that's how they fund these museums. You've got a lot of, you got 42 museums and art galleries, ladies and gents, in London. Out of those 42, only one of them you have to pay, and that's the Churchill War Museum in Whitehall. And you've got that world famous museum called British Museum. Yes, it's the largest stolen loot in the world, ladies and gents. It's like going looking at your own stuff in there, ladies and gents, because there's nothing British inside that museum, ladies and gents. So you're paying to go and watch your stuff. But it's there for your convenience, ladies and gents. Now, most of you probably have seen the ticket, what it says, the one you purchased through our website, that this tour does not finish where it started. It finished in this area right here. And this is the area of Kensington. After the traffic lights, if you look to your left, you got the train station. It's called Gloucester Road Underground Station. Gloucester Road Underground Station. It's served by Circle Line, the one that goes around central London. And you got District Line, goes towards Richmond in the west, and towards Mile End, and towards the east of London. And you got Piccadilly Line, that goes from Heathrow all the way to North London. And it goes through central London as well. There's like Piccadilly Circus and Russell Square and towards King's Cross as well. So look to your left, that's the underground, that's the metro to the, and over to the right you've got the Doubletree by Hilton. That's where the tour will finish. Please remember, we do not go back to Victoria, okay? Over to the right, that's where the tour finishes. Now, ladies and gents, we are on Cromwell Road. Cromwell Road is named after Oliver Cromwell. If you don't know who that is, for a short period of 9 years, this country was a republic, and Oliver Cromwell was the Lord Protector. Where Charles I, the king we decided to chop the head off, he believed it was his divine right to rule as he pleased, and the parliament was not happy with that, so they charged Oliver Cromwell in charge of the parliament forces, or the Roundheads they call themselves, in order to defeat the royalists, which he did. So they made him the head of state. Now, look, the guy was a great war general, that's fine. But he started banning everything. No Christmas, no theaters, no pubs, no this, no that. The worst of them all was when he said that after he dies, he wants his son to take over the reign. And everybody goes like, hang on a second, how's that any different than having a monarch? No, go and die. We'll deal with the consequences after. So we got Charles II back from exile, the son of Charles I, the one with 15 kids. But with few restrictions, obviously, which they still remain to this day. Look to your left, look at the blue sign on the wall there, look at the door, 153. Do you see the blue sign? Who used to reside there? Sir Alfred Hitchcock, the movie director. That's what I mean with the blue signs on the wall, ladies and gents. Over to the right, you've got the Cromwell Hospital. This is a private hospital. Its famous guests are, of course, Freddie Mercury, Robin Gibbs, Queen Mother, George Best, the football or soccer star, as some people call it. We're very proud of our NHS, ladies and gents. NHS is National Health Services. It's free. Well, you say that. As you grow up in life, you do realize nothing in life is for free. You do have to pay through our income tax, but at the point of delivery, you don't have to pay a penny. So some people choose to go private, like the people I mentioned. But the difference between NHS and the Cromwell Hospital, you don't have to bankrupt yourself, ladies and gents. When you die, at least you don't leave any debts for your family. That's what Freddie Mercury and the rest of them done with the Cromwell Hospital after they died. So what I'm trying to say is, at least with NHS, you get to die for free. Do I have any football fans on board? And by football I mean the actual game, football, the one you play with your feet, hence the name. Yes, it's in the title, football. Alright, well, if you're a Chelsea fan, over to the left, 10 minutes, you'll be at Chelsea football ground, Stamford Bridge. If you're a Chelsea fan, you need to let me know now, so I'll open the door and I'll walk you away. I'm joking, of course. Or am I? We'll find out if you're late at Windsor, if I'm going to leave you behind. So yeah, Chelsea Football Club is just over to the left. Now, very shortly, we're going to go through two buildings, one on the left, one on the right. I'll point them out. One of them is older than the other one, and one of them is the headquarters of TfL. Now, TfL stands for Transport for London. They're in charge of the transport in London, like the buses, the underground, and whatnot. And the taxis, they're the ones that hold the license. And And they're in charge of the traffic, of the roads, the conditions as well. The other one is just an old building. I wanted to see if you can find out which one is older than the other one. Now, TfL, for us Londoners, the one we live at least, it's 10. Traffic in London is horrible, that's why we look at it. When the record began over 200 years ago, when we had horses and carriages, the average speed in central London was 8 miles per hour. Now we got all sorts of types of engines, combustion, electric cars and whatnot, you name it. What do you think is the average speed in London now? 7. So we have not improved, ladies and gents. And you can see, this is the reason why. Now, not all of you have a good sight of it, but I want you to see the building on the right or the one coming on the left. Which one? You be the judge, which one is older than the other one.